Yo, what's up people, War Selection here. Sorry about not making videos a couple days back, even a couple weeks. I've been in a holiday situation, but I've been noting the things you guys kind of want to see and the contents as such for the future being. But today I just kind of want to quickly show you guys my epic backline game situation here, where at the first half we're kind of losing. All these players up front kind of died, and then these three players in particular, and then we managed to come back, but this person also went for wonder, and then I kind of control this middle area here to block the ongoing attack from these two guys. So yeah, the first thing, the routine of making these 4 houses. It doesn't always work, but majority of the times it will work if you're rushing, and especially when you're in the back lines where you don't really have to make, and you don't have the pressure to make an army during the early stages. But when you're front line, you definitely want to plus them up, especially when you're like this, you're this front, like we probably want like 8 houses, but yeah, the difference is that it gets there, but it's just increasing gradually, not at once. You see what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna fast forward the game a bit here. So first thing I did was always make a warehouse. Always make a warehouse so that the wood gathering will be more efficient, because it always start off the stone. When you're stone age, then the altar will be the gathering point, so usually it'll be somewhere near it. Automatically it will be around here when you just spawn, and there's a bit of a gap, which is not efficient, so you want to make something like this, just closer to the production and the worker movement. As you can see here, I also want to make use of this couple of berries. Make sure my resources will be more efficient before I will be making it a poultry yard. So see the front line here. Front line, this guy was surprisingly, he was kind of, I also adapted to how this guy was playing, because I saw him kind of rushing, even though he's front line. But at the end, he did a pretty good job. But this is what you don't really want to do, and it's kind of risky when you're frontline. You just, you know, you farm your workers so much that when they attack you, they pretty much have nothing to defend it with. But this guy was lucky enough that this guy didn't really attack much. So, and you'll see why, and what I did also kind of helped him do what he wanted to do, because I pretty much pushed forward. As you can see, I'm already pushing forward because I didn't want to be a burden of a backline. I make these towers so that my town hall would be well protected. I can see there's a couple of attack here. So I don't really have to worry about making a lot of towers. So I make walls to protect them from the upcoming enemies that would fill in the gaps. I also make a forward position worker so that if anything I could help him. Maybe spam a couple of towers in case, because I was really worried, because this guy was just like didn't give a damn thing about if this guy would have pushed him here. Imagine if this guy decides to push here, what could he do? He's dead for. So I made that in the case. So yeah, a couple of good attacks from the team. At the end they died because I don't know, I think they were just not efficient enough. I pushed a bit with some with some horses to see some blank spots, because it was too dark around here, so I pushed them, and in hopes to, like, you know, disturb their economy for a bit. That's what I like to do when I'm backline. And this guy was attacked early. I pushed there just to scout. Now I see his base. I see what I mean here. I pushed here, and I was the fastest pretty much. Went to early Eastern Asia already. I pushed here, put a lot of more workers so that I could make this, so I'll be more efficient in supporting this guy with his lack of army and attacking forward and clearing this area, because I really want the resources around here. So it's important for me to have the capability to defend my workers and the resources I want to take from. So yeah, these horses just keep pushing, you know, disturbing their flow of economy. It's some micro tactics that I like to do when I'm backline. You see this? You see that? You see that movement? And now he's AFK, and now he has to make that because he's worried of me attacking. So that's already like a couple of wood and a couple of food being wasted on. Also by doing that, you know, see, it's a lot of delay, a couple of delays that I did. You see here, I push pretty forward, and my base is pretty widened and pretty forwarded. It's almost like a triangle situation here. It is like that because I wanted to be an aggressive backline. So the design must also be somewhat efficient to what I'm trying to do in the future. And you'll see why. A couple of distraction attacks. It's not meant to kill the town hall, but just, you know, grab a few workers that are unprotected and hopefully delay their economy and their progression. This guy was dying. He eventually did die. So yeah, I also make another forward base because I was worried, because this guy wasn't attacking, and I was worried this guy will soon be stronger than him with this amount of... Yeah, look at that. It's pretty unbalanced. What he has and what he has is like double. So I did that to counter that, because I know he was rushing. So I was hoping maybe in the late games he will be the one doing the job more, because, you know, farming equals late game, and then rushing equals early game most of the times. So grab a few things here. He did not expect that. And my horses was also there to distract the one here, so that he didn't directly help him here. So all the small things you do, it matters. And especially when you have that practice and hours of understanding the game, then eventually it's just instinct. Like you don't really need to think about it. It's just your hand and your brain just flowing. So I kind of lost this because suddenly there's 3 people. These guys kind of came late, but backup was just keep coming from here. But I was also worried that this guy was dying, so I deployed a few here. You can see my progression. I was really worried because if all of this don't die soon, then it's gonna attack me from this side. So I kind of pushed with some of the army there, and then while also maintaining attack here. Not an easy job, guys. Being a backline and being a superpower, it's not easy. A lot of people will think there's other ways to be better, but I think this is possibly the best thing you could have done in this game. You'll see why towards the end, but maybe there's a couple of things that I could have done that could have killed someone early, but then that would just delay my progression. Not that efficient. So yeah, there's a bad situation in my left side. I was getting worried because soon these things die, and then they will attack me to this side. So I kind of, you'll see me stacking up some army later here and later on. Apparently these guys were losing it. They were kind of farming, I guess, but they were not that efficient. So I pushed here, and the great thing that this guy was IR already, so it was worth it. It was worth it of me putting all these resources around his area to protect his base. So I was still pushing, trying to demilitarize this guy. And then suddenly this guy just decided to attack me here. But that's good because this guy was crippled. Now he has the space and time to regain that control. Even though I lose some. But you know, you lose some and win some. You do it for the team, and at the end you win the game. This was pretty much a distraction so that this guy would go back, and then, you know, a few more would push it here and attack. And then he came back kind of late. But yeah, that's how it is. Yeah, I pushed it here because this guy was rushing IR. Kind of want to do some distraction here. This guy did some movement. Yeah. And then suddenly this guy decided to join the party and attack me from this side. I was starting worried. I thought we were gonna lose because look at this. We lost control here. There's 2-3 guys just keep attacking this side. And then I was my third base. was also being attacked. I call it my third base because this will be my first base, and then this is my second base, and this is my third base. That's how I do things. Especially when I'm backline, I make multiple bases to do the things I want to do. So there's dying, but then I was kind of helping micro small things at the time. Majorly, I was still trying to pursue here, but once these light machine gunners came into play, I was more onto this side because this guy eventually died, and I knew he was gonna die. So try to put a stop to it somehow, but then while not wasting too much resources because I was going IR. So it's the balance. You gotta find the perfect balance each game. Not doing doing so much at a certain point could be good if you are maybe pushing an early game or like you're in the late game trying to attack. But throughout the whole output of the game, you want an equal balance of your economy, of your power, of your area of control. And my team did that well, and I did that really well, I'd say. You know, got a few things here to distract so that this guy will have the more survivable time. So eventually we pushed down here, which is really good. Got some few, and then my friend here, the enemy here started worried, so he went there. And then this guy was IR. He had the time to do that. At some point I went here to distract this guy. Then I did a few damage, but then this enemy went here and attacked and killed him. So I'm IR with a good regional control, but I'm still weak in this area. So in a few minutes, you'll see me making a lot of things here. I decided to make it here. I was about to make it here, the foreign supply, but then my weak spot will be the enemies going through the gaps here, so that's why I made it there. A lot of reason why I do the things, and then this guy quickly died. I guess that was a worth it farm at the early game, but quite a risky and ballsy tactic. If I didn't push here, would have died probably early. Then I make a rice farm here, and then and then these guys, I almost died because exactly my worried bit came, and then the threat was soon happen that he attacked from this side and destroyed a couple of things, destroyed my wall, but then just in time. I pressed F2 and I pushed all my army here. You can see they're all retreating from everywhere. Just in time before I almost died. You can see here. Slow-mo that for a bit. These people came. Put a snowfall because like I was pretty confident that I was gonna live. Just to, you know, do some what do you call that? Yeah, you know what I mean. So yeah, and then soon this guy goes to wonder. Yeah, he's already 92%, but he'll come here because I don't know why this guy was still alive. He pushed on wondered, and then these three guys, as I said, they all died, and then these three guys didn't have the power to deploy to dominate those areas, but somehow this guy was efficient enough to keep pushing and attack these two guys. And then I was strong enough to defend the upcoming attacks to balance things out that was coming through this side. So you could see here that I'm trying to shield up as much. The reason why I push so much to the front is to shield up my main area, which is this, right? My main area of my town hall. Because if your town hall dies, then you die. That's the pretty much point. And I was trying to shield up also this rice farm, which is pretty crucial because it only happens near the water. So these are well protected, your exclusive zone. Then you could dominate the game. I pushed here to scout up a bit, see what's happening in front. Like I was worried that they make a base here and then that would be really close to me. And then I was just starting to make my fourth base here. So yeah, they came back just to scout further ahead. Eventually this guy also almost died. I forgot if he died at the end of the game or not, but we won the game at the end. Push forward here. You see my military build up, trying to shield up around this area that was so empty. There could have easily been an attacking point from them with these tanks coming from this side. So we secured the front line here. This guy died, and then I decided to push a bit and help the ongoing attack from my friend next. And yeah, I saw as once I was scouting, I saw these guys attacking. I'm a bit worried about how I would want to counter that, but then thankfully, being a China, you can use the bomb and kaboom these things. This is why I really love being China. So much things you can do. And then this one, oh, you'll see what I mean. The suicide bombers successfully destroyed the ongoing attack that almost killed this guy, which is so crucial. Some AFK troops there because I was building up. Not everything I can control at once. You'll see here. This is one thing that I did that was pretty crucial. That's kind of saved the game here. I spam as much as my soldiers and explode them just like that. Like this. Boom, 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 boom. Look at that. They're like mini tanks if you think about it, because they're able to counter tanks. So yeah, I did that and saved them. And then you can see my area control. It's like shield, you know, it's like a shield. It's like when you're USA and then you have a military base in Africa. Pretty much it's like that. You're far from your country, your area, but then that's what you need to do to protect it. You know? Shield as much as possible. This is what you want to do if you're backline. So yeah, my team did well. Attacked a few good points, attacked here because I was balancing the guys here. You can see this guy was not able to breach here because I was blocking it eventually. And yeah, let's fast forward a bit because I don't want to make the video too long. So yeah, we did that. I made my tanks, countered my supply chain, foreign supply chain, and then defended here, killed some of the tanks there, shielded up here, and then another attack here. I countered that. He also countered that pretty good. Wanderer was well protected. This guy was going strong, and I just kept pushing this side to weaken him. Because if I left that open, because I'm pretty sure 100% that most likely he will send tanks here, and then deployed here, and then I die, and then this guy died, and this guy died. You know, just like that. But then before that build-up happened, I just kept pushing, trying to make things, do things to counter what he was trying to do. It was success. While these two guys just kept attacking. Well, yeah, you know what I mean? It's like filling the gap where it needs to be, because at this point I was balancing these two players so that these players will be an easy target. They will then be simulated into. You will be isolated because there will be some of his teammates will be distracted here, while this one will be left open for my teammates to further attack. So that was the gap I was trying to do to counter. And there, at some point there was even an FC and F1. As you can see, my build-up was just pushing it, and pushing it. And this guy's just soon ended the game. My ants just kept coming. I was almost close to max troops. The attack here was frequent, but I'm trying to figure out ways to keep countering it. Made us some few grenade launcher. A good combination of grenade launchers and machine gunners and cannons and tanks equals destruction, I guess. A balance of everything. So yeah, we're winning. I decided that, you know, this guy, my friends here pushed further enough that there were certain points I think I could stab them from this side, which I did. So I kept pushing also, maximizing that momentum that my team was doing. But yeah, momentum is very important. When your team is pushing, make sure you're also doing something to maximize that. Either that is you're pushing with your towers, or you're making a new base further upon your base to attack more efficient. Whatever that is, like make sure you are moving when your team is moving. That's very important because when you attack one by one, then it's not that efficient of an attack. So yeah, and I was trying to get more resources here. So the thing about having a wide base is also then having the options to keep making warehouses and get more resources. Of course, the bigger your area, then the more resources you'll need and the more workers you'll need. At this point, I just keep adding more workers also. But that's gradually. When I feel like I need to keep adding and plussing it more, when my resources was tight, then that's when I, keep adding a few 10, a few 15. When you get to IR, don't add like 50. Add it gradually. First 15 minutes of IR, maybe you want to add 15, and make that gap, and then get that other 15, maybe like 10 minutes to 15 minutes after. Because you want that gap to, have your army also. You don't want it to be a full worker to fill in that couple or however I'm with the maximum trip was 340. So the attack was still frequent here. I was trying to still manage control. As you can see, my base is pretty different. it's so big, But that's how I play out most of the times, especially when you're in a backline. But again, it's not always the best, but then in this particular situation where you need to be rushing and getting as much as resources and blocking the path from other enemies from a certain position, then this is a very efficient way to counter that. So soon they die here. My friends was able to reach in that gap and attack from this point and attack from this point, and I was attacking slowly from this. So yeah, just want to show you guys the whole outlook of what I did there, how we won it. Hope this video helps you guys. The key here of this game is to distribute your workers properly and not being too fast early on, but not also being a pure farmer at the beginning of the game, you know what I mean? So it's like you want to focus on the Middle Eastern, early Western Asia point. That's where you truly want to boom your economy and be more efficient in your attacks. And yeah, thank you for watching and stay tuned for my next video. Hope this helps and have a good day.